Hello and welcome to the Perfect Pizza Picker Excel spreadsheet, which allows us to use some quite advanced Excel functions and formulas. First of all, a quick tour of the spreadsheet. Down the left hand side we have various cells where we're going to put our formulas and functions in, and some data validation as well. And on the right hand side we have various tables of values that we're going to use to help us populate this and get this to function nicely. So let's start with our first option, is pick size, and this is the data validation. So I'll pick data validation over here, and it's a list, and the size of the pizza I want is any one of these sizes here. Notice I include the heading, and we'll see why in a moment. So click OK on that. Now when you come to the spreadsheet it would look like this, pizza size, so then you would just drop it down and pick the size that you wanted, and you can pick any size you like. Now how do I get it to pull through the size in inches and the price in pounds into these two cells, depending on what value this is? And here's where the VLOOKUP comes in. So just construct it for you and you can see how it works as we go. As with every formula or function, equals starts it off, keyword VLOOKUP, and then I open the brackets, and it's now looking for four pieces of information. First of all is what's the value that I want to look up in this table, and that's the size. So the size there is in B3. Separate each portion of the function with commas. And the second thing it's looking for is table array, and it's basically saying where's the table, and that's all of this data over here, this chunk here, comma. Column index means which column in this table do I want to pull the data from. Here's column 1, this is column 2 where the size is, so I want column 2. Price would be 3 and topping would be 4. So column 2, and just type 2. And finally, do you want an exact match or a rough approximation somewhere alphabetically nearest? We want an exact match because it's got to be exactly what we're looking for. Okay, so we close the bracket off there. So there's our VLOOKUP, and hopefully it will pull through the correct size, which it has, 10 inch. If I pick small, it pulls through 7 inch. So let's do the pizza price. Same thing, VLOOKUP, open the brackets, pick the size, pick the table where the data is, there. This time it's column 3, and finally it's an exact match again, so false. Close the bracket, enter to lock it in. Notice it pulls through the value, not the formatting, so I do have to put this as currency, and we'll see this a few times where it only pulls through values. And while I'm here, I'm going to quickly highlight all of this data and set it to the center alignment so it looks neater. Now, number of pizzas is just a pick list from this list over here, 1 to 10. So it's a quick bit of data validation, and I could pick a whole number between 1 and 10, that would work, but it doesn't give me the drop down functionality. To do that I've got to pick list, and the source is that group there. OK, and it's done. So I can see here I've got the quantity, I'll pick 4. Extra toppings is this column here. How many is this one here again, but maybe we can say we only want up to 4 extra toppings, so let's limit the list this time. So data validation again, we want another drop down list, but this time I'm only going to go down to number 4. So I don't have to pick all of them, I can just pick the ones I want. There. So my list is now limited to 4. I'll have 2 extra toppings. Now the price is here, depending on the size of the pizza, so this is another VLOOKUP. It depends on the size there. Here's the table, the array, and this time it's column 4. Remember, I'm putting commas in between each portion, and it's an exact match. Close the bracket, there. Doesn't look like money, so let's make it quickly change to currency. There. Now the totals is a bit of math, so we just have to think this through a little bit. It's actually equal to the cost of each pizza times the number of pizzas. So that's the value of all the pizzas. But then we have to add on the toppings. So plus the number of pizzas times the number of toppings times the price of the toppings themselves. So here it's pulled through the total price of the pizzas, which is £37.96. If I adjust one of the values, we'll see the price goes up. Payment type is a quick pick list from here, so I shall just quickly create that. Data validation, and I pick a list from there, and the source of it is this list here. And say OK. And now I have a drop down created, MasterCard there, or Visa, depending on which one. Discount applied. I want to take 10% off if it's a credit card. So if it's Visa or MasterCard, I want to take it off. Otherwise, don't. And so the discount is going to be a complex formula. We could do a VLOOKUP where I actually put the calculations in here and then pull through the value depending on the type of card or payment type. But I'm going to do a bit of a complicated if, just to show you that functionality. So we need to ask questions, a series of questions, and each question is an if. So that my first question is if this cell here contains the word Visa. Notice I'm putting speech marks around the text. If it's a Visa, I want to take 10% off. And so I take my value of the total and then take 10% off. There's several ways of doing this. Hopefully you should be aware of that by now, and I'm going to pick this one, which is multiply it by 90%, which is effectively taking 10% off. So that's if it's Visa, but what if it's not? If it's MasterCard? So I need to ask another question. So comma, and I'm going to put another if, an if within an if. And you can go quite deep with this. You can go several ifs down, but it gets very complicated. You just have to keep a track of where you are. So this if is going to ask another question. Is this cell here equal to MasterCard? If it is, comma, I want to take 10% off again because it's a credit card. So I'll just type that formula in there, B9 star 90%. So that's my discount. Now the only other option I really need to think about is there's no more credit cards, so everything else must be the full value, no discount anymore. So I just click on the total, because that's the only other option that's left. And notice the opening brackets of each if is in a different colour. So as I start to close them off, you'll see they apply, that one applies to this if, and then the next one applies to the first if. So all the ifs are now closed off, and it should show me the value. Let's quickly change that to currency, 42.71. If I pick cash on delivery, no discount. If I pick MasterCard, 10%'s come off. Okay, so delivery, it's a quick if here. If this order value after the discount is under £20, I have to pay £2.50 delivery charge. If it's over that, I don't. So this is a very quick if indeed. Is that value, here's the question, is that value less than 20? If it is, I want to put £2.50 in this cell. So I don't put the pound sign, I just literally type the number, the decimal value, 2.5. It's going to look like currency when I format it. If it's not that, it must be above that, which means no delivery charge, 0. Enter to lock that in. Doesn't look like currency, so let's quickly fix that problem. And the total amount to pay is simply the amount plus any delivery charge. There. So let's just quickly drop this down to see if I can get an order under £20 to prove the delivery cost is working properly. And there we are. Look. If I just pick one pizza, the total is £9.49. It is a credit card, so that's £8.54. but here's my delivery charge, it's kicked in. And if I put back up more pizzas, it's gone over £20. There's my delivery charge. So I'm going to quickly switch to formula view just to show the formulas that we've used in this tutorial. Some of them are quite complex, but hopefully you can see it's just a little bit of thought and understanding of where to use each type of formula or function. You can do some pretty clever things with it. Thanks for watching.